Under the cloak of darkness, a ragtag group of Nigerian soldiers inched towards the North Korean border. Their mission? Infiltrate the Hermit Kingdom and replace Kim Jong-un's daily ration of Emmental cheese with a knockoff brand. Intelligence suggested he wouldn't taste the difference. What they didn't account for was Freak on a Sponge. Freak on a Sponge, a genetic experiment gone awry, or fantastically right, depending on who you ask, stood as North Korea's first line of defense. Picture, if you will, a sentient bath sponge grotesquely enlarged with a face only a mother could love, if that mother had a penchant for the macabre. The Nigerian soldiers, armed with rusty AK-47s and a prayer, were woefully unprepared for what awaited them. They whispered amongst themselves, their bravado crumbling faster than a stale baguette. Little did they know the air itself crackled with anticipation, a symphony of impending doom conducted by a being of pure, unadulterated weirdness. Freak on a Sponge, sensing the intruders, let out a sound that can only be described as a foghorn being strangled by a bagpipe. His weapon of choice? Not guns, not grenades, but ballistic dildos. Yes, you read that correctly. Engineered by a rogue team of North Korean scientists who were later sent to re-education camps for excessive creativity. These silicone projectiles were no laughing matter. Launched from makeshift cannons cobbled together from old tractors and washing machines, they rained down on the unsuspecting Nigerians with terrifying accuracy. The dildos, armed with miniature but potent nitrous oxide canisters, exploded on impact, enveloping the battlefield in a disorienting haze of pink smoke and a disconcerting aroma of strawberries. The Nigerians, caught completely off guard, panicked. This, they realized, was not your average Tuesday. The ensuing battle was short, brutal, and frankly more than a little slippery. The Nigerians, their senses overwhelmed by the smell of artificial strawberries and the sheer absurdity of it all, were quickly subdued. Freak on a Sponge, his porous body glistening triumphantly in the moonlight, let out a victory screech that shattered every window in a 5-mile radius. The remaining Nigerian soldiers, those who hadn't already been rendered unconscious by the nitrous oxide, were taken prisoner. Their fate: forced labor in North Korea's thriving artisanal soap-making industry. News of the Nigerian defeat spread like wildfire through the international intelligence community. Panic ensued. Freak on a Sponge, it seemed, was not to be underestimated. Section 4. Cryptic Clowns Lament Vengeance from the Bunker. Deep within a subterranean bunker in the Ural Mountains, a single figure seethed. Cryptic Clown, a former mime turned supervillain after a particularly traumatic incident involving a faulty smoke machine and a pack of rabid badgers, was not pleased. Freak on a Sponge, you see, had been his nemesis since kindergarten, when Freak had accidentally absorbed Cryptic Clown's juice box during nap time. The humiliation still stung. That gelatinous buffoon. Cryptic Clown roared, his voice echoing through the empty bunker. He will pay for his insolence. I will unleash upon him a weapon so insidious, so devious, so downright dastardly that the very fabric of reality will unravel. His plan, hatched in the depths of his twisted mind, involved a single solitary molecule of sugar. But not just any sugar. This, my friends, was no ordinary sucrose. Section 5, the sugar-coated apocalypse, a plan of unfathomable sweetness. This particular sugar molecule, painstakingly extracted from a long-forgotten stash of Soviet-era candy corn, possessed a unique and terrifying property. When exposed to the resonant frequency of a kazoo playing Flight of the Bumblebee, it would multiply exponentially, consuming everything in its path in a tidal wave of sticky, toothache doom. Cryptic Clown, his eyes gleaming with manic glee, carefully placed the sugar molecule in a lead-lined box. This, he mused, would be Freak on a Sponge's undoing. He imagined the chaos, the carnage, the sheer, unadulterated mayhem. The world would tremble before the might of Cryptic Clown and his sugar-powered weapon of mass destruction. Section 6, to be continued, the looming specter of chaos. The stage was set for a showdown of epic and frankly deeply unsettling proportions. Freak on a Sponge, the unlikely champion of North Korea, armed with his arsenal of ballistic dildos. Cryptic Clown, the vengeful mime lurking in the shadows, a single sugar molecule his weapon of choice. Who would prevail in this bizarre battle of the absurd? Only time and perhaps a really good therapist would tell. But one thing was certain, the world would never be the same.